Hey, I'm Skylar Moore from Halcyon Way. I play bass and I'm going to take you through my rig today. Alright, so this is my bass. It's a Euro 5LX from Spectre. I have an endorsement deal with Spectre, and so this is the first one they sent me when I got an endorsement with them, and it's definitely the best bass I've ever played. It's solid. It's a 5-string. We actually don't play anything that calls for a 5-string. We only play for stuff that really just needs a 4-string, but I got big, meaty hands, so it's more comfortable for me with the big neck. So when I picked this bass out, I definitely want to make sure I had the EMG pickups in it, just because, you know, when we're playing metal, you want, you know, the sound that's going to cut through really good. It's a neck through body, which is something I was also really wanted, just because I hate having to get my hand around a bolt at the bottom. So those are really the specifics, and of course it had to be black because, you know, black is more metal. I use DR strings. I use the DDT series. I play, I believe it's 55 through 135 gauge. Definitely awesome strings. I've been playing them for years and I love them. When we're on tour, typically I should be changing them like once a week. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's more like once every 2 weeks or something like that. But no, they hold up great though, so I really don't need to change them that often. So that's what I love about them. So we use in-tune guitar picks. These are our custom picks we use with them. We have an endorsement with them as well. And these picks are great, especially for playing bass, because I hate picks that flex, and these, they don't flex at all. They're like the stiffest picks I've ever used, so they're really good when you're chugging away. So this is my cabinet. It's a Mark Bass 8x10. I don't remember the exact model number, but they only have one 8x10. So the reason I actually use a Mark Bass head as well, the reason why I switched to the Mark Bass stuff is the rig I had before was super duper heavy. I mean, the cab itself weighed close to 200 pounds. The head weighed like 70 pounds or something like that. This head weighs about 6 pounds and this cab weighs about 89 pounds. So it's definitely much easier for lugging in and out of venues and stuff like that. When you're on the road, especially, having to lug it up and down stairs and through alleyways, it's definitely much easier to handle. So the first thing I'm going into up here is just my tuner, and then from the tuner I'm going into a Sansamp pair driver. This, I don't really use it for any distortion or anything, it's just for some added EQ. And of course going through my wireless, which shall not be named because I had some problems with it and the company didn't want to help me out, so I'm not going to advertise for them. Then down here is back to my head that I was talking about. And that's really the basics to my rig. There's nothing any crazy. Oh, should mention, I have it wired up with Jesus cables. I have an endorsement with them as well. It's a phenomenal cable company out of Poland. I've never had any problems with the cables. Most cables break when we're on the road, or, you know, they fall apart, and these I've never had one single short in them. I've never had any problems with them. So they're really good cables, and they're all gold plated on the input, so they have really good clarity, and they're just great cables. I can't say enough good things about them. For me, I like bass to be, because I mean, you know, you have some bass players that have super distorted tones to where you almost can't distinguish it between guitars. I like to have my bass tone where it has a lot of clarity, but it still has a really tight low end, and just I don't like it to feel, you know, flubby at the bottom end. You know, I like it to just be nice and tight. So I really don't have any specifics I go after when I do settings. I basically, you know, when I got my Spectre, that's the bass I kind of tuned it to, and I tuned the EQ on my Spectre to that as well. So really it was just kind of a matter of sitting down in where we're in our rehearsal space for like an hour, just sitting there tweaking it until it just sounded right for me. I don't really have, like I said, a super specific sound I go for, but yeah, that's about it when it comes to tone. That, and like I said, I use the pair driver just to kind of tighten up some of the EQ. So I guess you could say I kind of go for the general sound through the Mark Bass, and then whatever fine tuning I need to do, I do up here with the pair driver.
What's up? I'm John Bodan from Halcyon Way. I'm the lead guitar player, and we're going to do a rundown on my rig. Alright, so the first thing we've got here is I have a deal with Brian Moore Custom Guitars out of upstate New York. They're a boutique guitar maker. Been making guitars for probably 25 years or so. This is my signature model. This is a C90 nail head. So if you go on their website, iGuitar.com, you can actually buy this if you want to. Basically, the body is made out of mahogany, and it's got an automotive paint job on it. I've got EMG 81, 85. These are wired at 18 volts. Been playing EMGs for years. I love them. Got an endorsement deal with those guys, and they've treated me really well. So that's super cool. Right here I've got a custom inlay. This is brushed aluminum, and this is the Halcyon Way logo. We've had this logo for 10 or 12 years or so, so it felt right to immortalize it. But so that's one of the features of it. On the back here, you got Spurzl locking tuners. So it's got a floating tremolo. Tremolo on this guitar is actually a Wilkinson. It's not a Floyd Rose, which is what really most metal guys use. I like the Wilkinson because it's not going to go out of tune grossly if you break one string. If you get a Floyd and you break a string, it's typically, you're just done. So what I like about this is that you've got the locking tuners, which keep it in tune, and kind of approximates the locking nut that a Floyd Rose has got. But you're able to do all the things that you need without the tuning risks. So another thing that I think is super cool about this guitar is it's got some diamond plate armor here on the back, which was something that when we were designing the signature model, I was like, this has got to happen, because this is an easy spot for a guitar to get really beat up at. And the first show that we actually did after I got this guitar, I didn't have my strap locks installed, so I did kind of one of these numbers. And the thing fell off the strap, fell straight down right on the armor, and it didn't have a scratch on it, so that was pretty awesome. Now, of course, this is actually the prototype model of my signature model, and so, for the first, 6 months or so that I actually owned the guitar, I was like, oh man, don't look at it, don't touch it, don't scratch it. So we're on tour in the UK about 3 years ago. There's a real low lighting truss, and I went like, bash that in there. So that was kind of the first war wound. Then got a couple more like that. Then we were in Milwaukee a couple years ago, and the local crew guy was like, hey, let me take that to your dressing room. So he took it to my dressing room and mangled it. So at that point I was like, well, it's done for. So it's all scuffed up and just all beaten up now, but it's all good. This is a beautiful guitar. So if you're looking for something to play metal with, you need to check this thing out. It's a very fast guitar. It's very comfortable because of the sculpted radius here, and it's just really hot pickups. It's good stuff. I have got Diodario 10 to 46, so they're actually pretty light. We play in drop C in Halcyon Way, so a lot of people are like, oh, that's too light, you need to use like 52s or whatever, but I don't really like doing that. So kind of makes it harder for me to solo, so that's why I go with the 10 to 46. This is my backup guitar, and this is also a Brian Moore, and this is a C55. So this is a different custom shop model that they offer. This one has got, well, the guys in the band called this the Twilight finish after the movie. They're dicks. EMG 81, 85, again wired at 18 volts. Diodario 10 to 46 strings, and it's also got the same Spurzl locking tuners. Now, one thing that's a little bit different about this guitar is when it came from the custom shop, it had a piezo, or piezo, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but that's a pickup built into the bridge where it'll actually sound like an acoustic guitar if you turn that setting on. I actually took that out of the guitar though, because I found that I wasn't using it. I've actually got 6 of their guitars, and I've got another one that has that feature, so if I need that in the studio or whatnot, I use that one. But this is a super cool guitar as well. I've had it for about 10 years. Love this guy. Alright, so this is my rig, and it looks a little janky because of the way we've got the stage built tonight, but a lot of guitar players, they like to put tons and tons of stuff in a rack, lots of pedals, whatever. That's not my thing. I actually like to keep it really, really simple. So my rack is dead simple. First thing is that we work with Framus amps. So this is my Framus Cobra 412, which I love this cabinet. I love Framus. I've been using their amps for quite a while, and I've been super happy with them. If I go into a music store or something like that and they've got Engel or Bogner or whatever, I'm like, yeah, those are cool, but I've just stuck with them. I'm the kind of person, I find something that really works for me and I stick with it. So that's what these guys do. Company's been really good for us, really good to us. They've backlined a lot of tours, but so this is my 412 here. Now, like I say, I like to keep it really simple. The head that I normally use in my home studio is a frameless Cobra head, which is super high gain. Tone is kind of a cross between probably a 6505 Plus and maybe a Mesa. It's got a lot of low end, but it's also got a lot of clean high end definition, a lot of saturation. It's really, really super cool amp. However, it's a very hot rodded tube amp, and when you're traveling 15,000 miles on a tour and you've got a super high gain amp in your trailer and it's 20 degrees out or 10 degrees out, it's probably not a great recipe for success. So, because I've had tubes bust and things of that nature happen on the road before. So basically what I did is I went ahead and I invested in a Kemper, and unfortunately it's sideways here, but this is the Kemper Power Rack 600. So this is the powered version of their profiling amplifier. So what I was able to do is I did a profile of my very rig. Actually, my buddy Lasse Lammert, he's the guy that's mixed all 4 of our albums, he did it. And so I have a profile of my rig right in this thing. It weighs about, I don't know, the rack maybe weighs 20 pounds. So it's just super easy to transport, super easy to deal with. My load end consists of taking the front and the back off the rack, plugging in the speaker, plugging in the power, plugging in my wireless, done. So it's super easy to deal with. Wireless here is a GLX D4. I've been very, very happy with this thing. I had another wireless prior to this that I did probably 5 tours with. It was a Line 6 Relay G90, I think. And constant cutouts, belt packs broke, cables went bad, just all sorts of problems. And just really couldn't get anywhere with that thing. Couldn't find a fix. So got rid of it, picked up the Shure GLX. It's been just dead solid ever since then. I've been super happy with that thing. Beyond that, I've got a couple of other small things. First one, this is metal. It's very loud. Ear protection. They're kind of grimy. You probably just got a shot of my earwax. Sorry. These are Etymotic, the filters. They cut off 30 dB of the sound, but they don't actually kill any of the frequencies or anything like that, and these are custom molds of my ears. So these are a necessity. I wear these to any show, any loud noise, anything like that. If I go to a football game or something like that, they're in there. So this is a must for me. And we also have this handy thing. This is from Home Depot. It's for screws or nails or whatever, but we use it to carry our picks around. Now we're at the end of the tour, so we're almost out of them. But all 3 of us use Intune Grip X, and these are 1.5 millimeter. So Skylar told you a minute ago, I think, that they don't flex at all when he plays the bass, and that's true. You can barely bend them even if you're really trying. This is a man's pick. So don't let anybody with a floppy pick fool you. This is a man's pick. But we all 3 of us use these. Super cool, very good for definition. Helps you with your right hand technique. It's good stuff.